Coach Mendez was doing an interview, and he was asked about the matchup of Khabib, his student, versus George St. Pierre. And Coach Mendez simply said, the fight between GSP and Khabib Nurmagomedov would establish who the greatest of all time is. So I had that question asked to me by my partner, Ryan. Hey, Chael, what do you think about that? Can you answer? It's like, Ryan, well, yes. Can I answer the question? Yes. Look at the ingredients you gave me. You took the greatest of all time in George St. Pierre versus the greatest lightweight of all time in Khabib, while we all also agree that lightweight is the hardest weight class right now of all time. You took the champion with the most beautiful record in what we have all unanimously identified to be the greatest and deepest and toughest weight ever against just period the most successful and decorated ever. You put them together. Of course, it's for the GOAT. It's for the GOAT. It's for the lion. It's for the cobra, the killer shark. Bring any animal you want. Yes, it is for who the best is. Absolutely. Whoever loses the fight will also establish themselves as whatever the silver medal is. I haven't the foggiest idea within the animal kingdom where exactly that lies, but that's what you're going to find. Much like 2 Saturdays ago, the only thing we figured out conclusively, for sure, between Stipe and Daniel Cormier is who the best fighter at heavyweight is and who the second is. We knew it was one of those two, but now we figure out who it was. Another example would be Colby Covington versus Kamaru Usman. Did we find out who the best fighter is? Yeah, absolutely. But we also found out who the second best fighter was. Nobody in all of the lands had pushed either guy the way their opponent that night did. And to the spoils goes the victor. I get it. To the victor goes the spoils, meaning the winner gets all the praise. But you better believe when you're watching that match, it was very clear that Colby is now the second best guy alive within that weight class. And you better believe when you're watching Cormier versus Stipe, you've also identified who the second baddest man is. So Daniel Cormier can walk this planet, knock on any door he wants, and come in for dinner, as long as it ain't the Stipe household. That's kind of how this works. George St. Pierre versus Khabib is for all the marbles. Yes, of course it is. Of course it is. And the other side of it is the loser doesn't leave without anything. He just doesn't leave with that. He doesn't leave with the title of greatest ever. St. Pierre will still have greatest welterweight of all time. St. Pierre will still have greatest career of all time. If you want to talk about longevity, if you want to talk about pay-per-view sold, money made at the box office, t-shirts moved, over a span of time, it still goes to whoever brought in the most money. Aside from the most victories, aside from moving 3 different weight classes, something very special. But for Khabib to put his foot down within his chosen weight class, not move, not flinch, not go up, not go down, say, this is mine, and stand there against anybody who wants to come and step across from him, and do it 30 times perfectly, yeah, yes, Khabib will leave with that. Whatever happens that night, yes. Even the greatest hater, and even the silliest pundit, and even the most bitter athlete who wasn't given that opportunity themselves, whether they didn't have enough fans to drive them to that spot or their skills just simply didn't warrant it. Coach is right. Khabib versus George is for the greatest to have ever done it.